Many of you are familiar with watching my hunting property slowly evolve, or my cabin property slowly evolve into, well, we'll see this year if we actually have some deer. We had a lot of does pass through. We had a couple bucks that we didn't shoot. And the reason for that is when you don't got food, there ain't going to be any deer. So this is our teeny little square oasis here. It looks a lot worse than it is. Right now, I'm going to pick up all this downed stuff, lunch up that trunk and all these trunks, and hopefully this is going to get just as cleaned up as the rest of this, as well as these ugly old things and those. Hopefully, I'm going to dice all those up right now. I'm probably going to cut those into 8-foot segments, these ones that are junk, because I'm not going to bother burning them. And those are going to get piled into a pile. Now, the piles are going to be used to control where we want to have deer accessing this little food plot. We don't want to have them coming in willy-nilly. We want to kind of know where they're coming from. And we definitely don't want them coming in right next to the little triangle blind there. So we're leaving the little pine trees in front of the little triangle blind to kind of obscure it a little bit. Now, keep in mind, when my buddies and I come up here to deer camp, this is really just a relaxation time. Like, it's not a huge deal. I just want to try and improve the hunting just a little bit. What we're going to do is, so hopefully we're going to have all these junk little pines cleared out here today with the tractor. It is amazing what the tractor can do in terms of cleaning up. This ground looked basically like this yesterday. So basically what we have here is we have some junk intermixed in here that we're going to get rid of. We'll leave definitely some of the canopy cover because we don't need to have, it 100% clear. Like, for instance, these beautiful guys. We're not going to take those out. But we're going to take the little piddly things out. We'll probably ditch this one. We'll probably ditch this one. We're going to try and get this all cleaned up so we can bulldoze this later tonight when it gets cool with the tractor. Not that that matters at all. Just that, I don't know. I guess I'm doing the manual labor when it's hot, which is kind of stupid. But that's okay. The dirt is surprising here. I thought it was going to be sandier. Seems like fairly nice dirt. I hit this with the tiller, and it looks pretty nice. We're going to, what do we got here? Does that one have, that one has a little bit of, that poplar has a little bit of leaves on the top. We'll probably leave that. It's not hurt anything. It's tall and skinny, and now it's not being outcompeted by a bunch of pines, which all ended up falling in the storm anyway. These were dead. These ones were heavily damaged. I just knocked them over. That was kind of fun. They were all wrapped together, so I face cut both of them at the same time. Back cut the one that was being held, and then back cut the back of the other one, and they all fell together, which is kind of fun. Hopefully, we're going to get rid of this awful trunk here. I really don't want to destroy a chain on junk, which is why I want to keep the cutting on junk to a bare minimum. Of course, we got to get rid of this. This big old root ball hopefully can roll back into place. That, or maybe I'll just rip it out. But then we're going to have a low spot here. So we'll kind of see how that transpires. When we get rid of this, my hope is that we're going to carry it and move it to the side. Right here is our normal trail, which is kind of cool, honestly. To have the food plot kind of nestled in here. It's kind of fun. It's not going to be super big. Doesn't need to be. Basically, we're just trying to give what deer are in the area a good reason to pass through the property or to bed on the property and get some quick food under pressure. So we'll see. We're planning on back here doing another one just like this in a square back here, which will be really isolated in the property, and I probably won't even hunt over that. It'll be just a deer-only food plot where they feel low pressure. Hopefully it'll hold them in the morning so that we can go in here and not disturb deer. We'll see. That is a big old girl. Look how proud that tree is. I love that tree. I was so happy that didn't get ruined in the ice storm. Hopefully, the tractor is going to decimate all this pine junk, and we're going to pile it all up to the side. We have this little, it's not a real creek, it's just a little drainage junk. Little low spot where it's allowed to drain right here. We're going to not go, we'll probably just stop where the trees stop. It's probably a good indication of where the ground's going to be worth having a food plot versus not. So I'm going to get to work on chainsawing up some junk and, well, actually not some junk, some potential firewood, and we'll bring that back up and we will keep trudging along. Definitely going to end up being 2 loads. We still got that whole trunk to toss in. Then I got to do these bases. I got it nipped off. So Good old 400. I love the 400. But we're getting there. Got that all nipped up. Hopefully the tractor will carry all that and pile it in a pile. All those dumb pine trees are going to go away here shortly. And then clean up this. It'll be perfect. Load 2. I guess we got a little bit of weight in there now. We are ready to clean this up with the tractor. Grapple time. Less manual labor time. Well, guys, we've more or less accomplished what we're trying to accomplish. Some of this last stuff, because of the stumps in the way, I'm probably just going to do some of this pine cleanup by hand. And, you know, run the DR and clean up any last little bit. We've got right over here opened up. We have this area opened up. I think we have a darn good start. Now, some of this stuff is going to, you know, die from getting, you know, drug up, ran over, whatever. So this will kind of take care of itself. We'll kind of see where we're at. We may choose to spray glyphosate to ensure that there's no weeds. We may also choose to, before I quit, I'll probably run the tiller. The problem is, though, is just there's so much of this bigger stuff all wrapped up in here. And I don't normally quit at 6, but I have to get ready to leave here. Today is the 3rd. I have to be out of here and spend the 4th down south. So unfortunately, I'll be leaving tomorrow morning at probably 6 o'clock or something. One minor detail, I heard a big pop, and I was hoping it wasn't a loader arm. Guess what it was? Now that we got the rattle trap off, the next trip up here, we will be bringing the gas-powered welder. It's frustrating to me, you know, in the sphere of welding, there's a lot of, you know, opinions and competition and whatever. The fact of the matter is that's not complete penetration. It broke on the weld. So, and it peeled the weld right off. Well, it wasn't hot enough. When you look at things like this, just not a hot enough weld. It looks pretty, but it's not hot enough. I've done a lot of destructive weld testing in my life, and I love welding and then beating the tar out of what I do to see how strong it is. This is all going to have to get ground down. We'll probably use its own hydraulic power to kind of bend it back a little bit, and then we'll have to tack it in place and maybe even run some ratchet straps to help hold it. We'll see how well the loader's own power can push it down and bend this finger back up. No big deal. I'm not afraid of doing some work. I'm I love welding, so that's not a huge deal. I will say, you know, just be, and it's hard to tell because when you look at all these welds, I mean, they definitely look A, cold, and B, low on filler material, but it's kind of what you get in a production welding environment. You know, they don't look bad, but the problem is that a good looking weld can be junk, and that's a great example. We just have no penetration here. This should have honestly broke right here. You know, especially because this is a pipe, it should definitely not have broke right on the weld. The weld should be the strongest part of the entire system. This is just not, it's a suggestion that it was welded there. It is not fused properly. So, small potatoes, I'm not that worried about it. This thing has had a ton of hard abuse. There is certainly no, you know, no love lost here. This machine has just worked its butt off. So, for those of you who might be first time on this video, this is an L3902. I got it in like 22, I think. It's been a really, really excellent machine. It's amazing what it can do. Its power to weight and power to size is unhinged. It's really an excellent unit. Pairing it with skid steer quick attach and a grapple is nothing short of highly impressive. Before I leave here, I guess I probably will run the tiller a little bit and just see if I can just make the ground look a little bit better. Some of these things may till up okay. We'll try it really quick. I ran the tiller over there and it, you know, cleaned up pretty darn nice. So maybe we will give this a little try before we cook. I just got to go run around and throw some bigger sticks around. So that's the status. And we now have a potential functioning food plot with nice cover around the whole thing. What I'll probably do is make an entrance right there because it's darn near in line with the blind. in line with the front of the blind. So you'd be hiding behind that tree in the front of the blind. So when they walk into the food plot, they're not going to see anything. And then that way it'll get a deer to commit into the food plot as opposed to be cautious before they even enter. So we'll probably do that. They can come in from the side. This is an access way, but we'll probably not use this, especially in the morning. My buddy's son likes to hunt here. It's close to the house, and it's kind of a fun little spot, and I kind of did the food plot for him. But at the same time, it's going to help hold deer on our property. We're going to put another one farther back, which will have a whole wall. You obviously see, you can't see through the woods here. It'll have a wall of stuff between it. So we'll see how it pans out. But I think we're kind of there for today. And, I did work this morning and then came out here and did physical work, and I may throw a tree stand in that tree just for giggles. Bow season over the food plot for evening hunting here may not be a bad spot to be. And you could darn near use a bow. You're pushing it on the outer bounds, of course, but as long as you can get them to commit and come in the food plot, you would probably be able to do that. And I think I'm going to do exactly that and put a tree stand there because I think it'd be kind of fun. All right, everyone. We will show the final product in another video. Take care. Let's go for a little drive, shall we? I gotta trim that branch. I'll dice that up with the electric saw. Clean this piece of junk up with the electric saw. Probably yet tonight after dinner. There's a lot more room in here than you think. All right. Now that's something to be proud of. A little bit more elbow grease and maybe some glyphosate, and we'll be off to the races. Look at a sassy 400 with a 28 on her. She's a good girl. Everything got a little dusty. All right, everybody. Take care. The tractor appears to be no worse for wear. She's probably coming up on a service here pretty soon. Not per Kubota's regards, but per my regards. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.